Hi there, Lou back here again with part 3 of all my coloured pages so far on my colouring journey this past 3.5 years. This book I actually forgot to show yesterday on the previous videos as it was in a separate pile. It wasn't with my other books. I have only done one so far out of here, but I am planning on doing a body colour, so that's why it was in a separate pile. So this was the one that I've done. Herman dunking his rich tea into his china cup. As you can see, I've used Polly's Chromos and the glitter gel pens on this one. And for the background effect, I actually used tea bags. I thought, what the heck, he's just been so overexcited when he's been dipping his rich tea that he's splashed it everywhere. So for that, I actually saved up, used tea bags, let them go cold, just sort of wet them again, dampen them down again, and just plonk them on the page. I didn't really want to go overboard with it because I wasn't sure how this paper would stand up to a lot of water, so I didn't do it too much. I do like the effect it's had on the page with this. So that's that one from the Ink House. Again, I love this book. It's one of my favourites. Just don't have a lot of time to colour in it, and it does intimidate me slightly as well. The pictures are so detailed and lovely. Wouldn't want to spoil them. This one was obviously Colouring Heaven. This was the first edition that I purchased. I actually bought this, initially spied it in the supermarket and thought, oh, that looks fantastic, I will just get a copy of that. And it's what sort of sparked my interest in Jasmine Beckett Griffiths artwork as well. So thank you, Colouring Heaven. I do now subscribe as well, so I do get my edition, my issue every month from them. So I do enjoy receiving that, especially the few recent ones we've had. They've been absolutely amazing, and a lot of them I know are quite sought after now as well, which doesn't surprise me because of the fantastic artwork that's in them. So anyway, I digress. So this was obviously the first issue of Colouring Heaven that I ever bought, and it was the first cover that I coloured as well. Now, they used to host competitions on the Facebook page every month, where you coloured the cover of the issue, the current issue, and they would then pass it on to the artist who had got their artwork in the book, and they would then choose a winning cover to win a prize from Colouring Heaven. So that was really good at the time. They don't do it just now. I don't know whether it's something they would be planning to bring back, but it was really good at the time to get everybody involved, and to get recognition for Colouring Heaven as well, and all the artists that they were making us aware of. So it was really good fun to get involved, and I say this was kind of at the beginning of my colouring journey anyway, so I wasn't really in a lot of Facebook groups and on social media quite a bit for my colouring. It has sort of snowballed immensely since I started, and found all these brand new artists and made all these amazing friends in the community. And I will say friends, I know a lot of them are online and YouTube and any sort of social media platforms, but I do consider them as friends. They do nothing but encourage you, and always leave nice comments on the work. So yeah, and they do get involved quite a lot with things. So yeah, that was the jasmine one. Yeah, this was a Christmas special. Again, this is just the cover that was coloured. I used various coloured pencils and glitter gel pens. This was a mixture. There was Selena Fennick, Ruth Sanderson, a couple of other artists. This one is Adele Lorien. This is a beautiful edition. Lots of fairies, sprites, very obviously fantasy orientated. You know, just amazing. And again, I coloured the cover, pencils and gel pens. This one, anime special. I've done one inside of it, which is this one, Summer at the Beach. This was done for a hashtag on Instagram. I think it was Colour and Chat with Sammy that did it. I'm not sure if it was summertime or, you know, just a beach picture. Ironically, I did do this when I was at the beach. With brand new pencils that I had bought whilst on holiday at the beach. I found a local craft shop. Well, it was a bookshop actually, and you sort of, and at the back there was like a craft shop that had lots of art supplies. So of course I had to go and have a nosy, and I came out with a tin of Aquarelle Giotto pencils and gelatos and Koh-i-No magic pencils. I think that was all I bought. But anyway, it was worth the rummage and the trip. And I did use the Giotto watercolour pencils on here, hence the crinkles in the paper and the lovely noise that we all love to hear after we've applied water to the paper. This one though, these sort of paper, the Colouring Heavens, you have to be sort of careful with the amount of water that you use. I would suggest sort of using the minimal amount of water that you can get away with. I wouldn't oversaturate the paper. Obviously I do like this. I like how that's turned out, and quite with the Giottos, and I like the soft colours in it, and how the waves have turned out with the watercolours. Yeah, so that's that one. Then on to the Misfits special. Again, I coloured the cover there for the competition, and I have done 2 images inside, I believe. This one I did for a event or a hashtag on Instagram. You had to do a stormy picture, and this was the first time I'd tried out the clouds in the sky. And what I did here, I cut out like a template from cardboard, and then used soft pastels around it and just smudged it all on. And I don't know if you can tell, but I've used glitter gel pens for the raindrops. I'm not sure what pencils I used there. I think they were possibly, I'm trying to think, they were either W.H. Smith pencils or the Faber-Castell Classics or Derwent's. I really can't remember, to be honest. But I know all this, the pastels, the background. And then this one, again, I did water colours. This was my Derwent Academy watercolours. The first time I'd used them. Again, I love this picture. The Wizard of Oz is one of my favourite films of all time. So I just had to do this one when I saw it in the magazine, and I just love this interpretation of it. So I really do. It's so cute. This next one, this is a very special issue for me. As you probably remember me saying about colouring the cover, this cover won me a set of chameleon pencils. courtesy of Meredith Dillman and Colouring Heaven, which I was very, very shocked about and very, very grateful for. Meredith picked this as the winning cover for the competition. As you can see, I've got stickles all over it. I think I used my Polychromos pencils and lots of stickles, and I used, I think it was the Arteza woodless watercolours to try and blend the background. But yeah, so that's a very special one for me, because Meredith Dillman chose it as the winning cover for this issue, and I continue to support Meredith on Patreon, as I absolutely adore her artwork, and you know, just obviously show some love for her, because she liked my picture. The Strangeling Special, another Jasmine Beckett Griffith one. I think I did that in Polychromos pencils, and again I used the Arteza woodless watercolour pencils for the background there. I was quite pleased with the way my wolf turned out. Again, the fur isn't perfect, but it just sort of does give you the impression that it is fur that's there. And again, a little nod to my cat there in the corner, a little tribute to him. So, and this one, the Halloween special, this was when, again, Colouring Heaven's bringing all these amazing artists to the fore. This was when I first found out about Enis Guerrero, who I absolutely adore her artwork. It's absolutely amazing. So I think I've done two in here. Yeah, this was my first Enis Guerrero picture that I've ever coloured. I did this with my Polychromos. As you can see, my skin tone is getting better. Well, I think it is. It looks better than it has done before. And then I tried again with the fur on the wolf and the hair. Again, it's not perfect, but you just get the impression that it is fluffy. And the hair as well, I tried to make the hair look a bit more realistic on that one as well. I say that's my first Enis Guerrero picture I've ever coloured, and absolutely adore it. I think I made a quite a good job of it. Again, I wasn't sure whether to do a background on it or not, so I've just left it the time being. I think I can always go back and put one in if I have to, but I do, must admit, I do like it the way it is. It sort of stands out there. And I've done another one in here as well. I've done the Selena Fenwick one, Night Companions. I used the chameleon pencils for this, that I won from that issue cover. They worked really well in this paper, and you know, very smooth blends. I also used some stickles and glitter gel pens, pastels for the background, and white Posca, messy shooting stars. But I was just trying to get the hang of the Posca. Things take practice. Definitely take a lot of practice when you're not used to using them a lot. This was the Momo Girl issue. Again, I've coloured the cover, and I've done one image in here, which is this small image here. This one was my first attempt at skin tones with Prismas, and I couldn't really be fussed doing all these dots in the background, so I just went over them, blended them with Distress inks. And the t-shirt was bright because I did this for a Facebook event again, where it was sort of brighten up your January blues or something like that. So you had to do your picture as bright as possible. So I thought, rainbow t-shirt, that's very bright, can't get brighter than that. So and again, I sort of wanted to keep her, I also wanted to keep her looking quite natural. She sort of struck me as sort of a natural girl. So I think I've done that, and I like her wee rosy cheeks, which is very cute. Next one, Gothic Fairies special. Again, I've just coloured the cover. I haven't been inside it to do any colourings, although I do love Michael Gelina's artwork. I absolutely adore it. She's another one that I love, that Colouring Heaven brought her to my attention. This one I have used stickles, pencils, glitter gel pens, glaze pen. I think I used Neocolor 2s for the background. Yeah, so that's that one. This issue really was not really my cup of tea. I don't think it still isn't very much, but I have done one in here, and this was like a mystery palette challenge, where you got 5 colours, one colour each day, but you didn't know what colours you were getting, and you just had to pick a picture and colour a picture in. So you just did a bit each day when you knew what colour was given to you. I think he's turned out okay. It looks cute, and I quite like the sort of see-through effect I've managed to get on the bubbles there. So yeah, he's quite cute, although like I say, this issue's not really my cup of tea, but it's one for added into my collection. And then this one here, the Frightlings Halloween, this is the most recent one I've done. This is for Sammy's current hashtag for August, Get Your Colouring Heaven On. And this is Limbo the zombieling. And for him, he looks really sad, really sorry for himself because he's fallen to pieces. But hey, aren't we all during these times? I know I certainly have at some point. Anyway, I digress again. So this one I've used Arteza pencils. I have used my Gansai Tambi gem watercolour metallic paints on some of the skulls and the heart there, and I used Ohu fine liners for some of the details, and the red, and obviously the white gel pen for the highlights. As I say, the wee soul, he's falling to pieces. He looks as though he needs a hug to be put back together again. So anyway, so those are all my books that I've ever coloured in. So I've just got the PDFs now, and then there's quite a lot of them, so this could take some time, so I'm hoping I'm not boring anybody. Hopefully you'll stick around. So yeah, so here we go with these. So a lot of these have been, complimentary pages when books are getting issued, or they've been issued for competitions or events in Facebook groups, etc. that I'm a member of. But some of them I have purchased from the Artist Etsy store. So we'll go on with this. So this one was a Millie Marotta one, for the launch of her Beautiful Birds and Treetop Treasure book back in 2017. So I did this one with Statler Ergosoft. This one was a complimentary page from Selena Fennick when her Mermaid's Grayscale book was being released. and this is my first grayscale picture that I ever did, and my first skin that I ever did, very first skin, but obviously the grayscale was there to help with shading, etc., so it doesn't look as bad, I don't think, as it could have done. And I think I used Marco Raffines on that, and glitter gel pens. Yeah. Now this one was Kim Fox, who is now Kim White. Yep, she got married to, lovely Kim got married to John. So instead of being known as Fox Design Den, she is now known as Creative Happy Life. And this was one of her designs back in 2017, obviously for Christmas, that I coloured in. So I've got that one. I used, I think, the Ergo Soft on that one and glitter gel pens. This was another Christmassy one that she did in Kim did again in 2017, but I was late to the party with this one. Didn't manage to colour it until 2018. So it was after Christmas before I did it, so that felt very strange doing a Christmas page after Christmas, but I managed to get it done. Don't know if you can see there, a bit of stickles on for the snow, kind of snow effect. And I like that. I love my rainbow windows. It's like sort of to give the impression that they've used sort of boiled sweets to make the windows clear and shiny. But I used my Faber-Castell Classics on that one. This one was, I'm not sure if it was a Mother's Day or an Easter picture. Again, Kim, lovely Kim White. I think I did this one with Marco Raffines, although I'm not sure, because it looks like I've sort of used some watercolour for the background there. I possibly have, but it's that long ago I really can't remember what pencils I've used where. I really must start making a note of it. Again, another one by Kim, King and Queen. This was Staedtler Ergo Soft and the glitter gel pens for the crown and the tiara. Now this one is Off to the Ball. This was a freebie page from the release of Hannah's Fairy Tale Princesses Storybook Darlings. This was the very first Hannah Lynn picture that I coloured. Can't remember what pencils it was I used, but I know I've covered it in Wink of Stella. You can't really tell because it's obviously in the plastic. And recently Hannah has been released as a diamond painting in Hannah's original colours, and as I also do diamond painting, I just had to have it as it holds a special place in my heart, and it is, one that's going to give you the real sort of wow factor once it's done. But it's enormous. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I just had to have it as sort of special place in my heart because it was the very first Hannah Lynn picture that I ever coloured in. This one I copied and scanned out of one of my Millie Marotta books. Bit of an experiment again for a black and white challenge. Instead of actually colouring in the insides of all the flowers and leaves, etc., I thought, I'll try a different way, and I got a felt tip pen and went round the outside. I think it's actually made a good effect. Obviously I didn't want to try it out in my book in case it didn't work out, so that's why I copied the page for my own personal use, which I believe you can do if you need to. So that turned out quite well. Again, I did that for a black and white challenge in one of the groups. So there's another Hannah Lynn here. This was the first page that I got, I think, when I signed up to her Patreon. However, at the time I was sort of quite a newbie and I got the wrong paper to print out on. So this was sort of like, I think it was like a textured paper, so the pencils didn't lay down on it very well. I think it was too toothy for the pencils, but even so it's turned out not too bad, bit patchy in places, but I sort of soon learnt my lesson, and I've put stickles on the raindrops there as well, which are kind of hard to see. This one was just a random one. Again, it was a complimentary page in a Facebook group for a book launch, and I just sort of did this with Super Tips, Crayola Super Tips. I just thought it was a nice quick image to do, and I think it's turned out okay. So, and here we have another Hannah Lynn. I think this one was called Mother Earth. Again, this was a Patreon page, I believe. So I used polychromos pencils, and I put lots of stickles around her wings, and in the snow in the mountains, in the water. Again, you can't really see because it's in the plastic. But yeah, I really liked that one. That was one of my favourites as well. Another Millie Marotta for a book launch. This was Wildlife Wonders. With this one, again, because I wanted it to look as close to nature as possible, I googled the image, and hopefully I've achieved that. And I think I used my polychromos, and I used the Arteza watercolour pencils for the background there. Now onto Molly Harrison. This one I think was a gift from Molly for Halloween, and I think again I used the Arteza watercolours for the background. I'm not sure what pencils I used on it, to be honest, and I've put lots of stickles on it again. Don't know if you can see there, lots of stickles on the and glitter gel pen. And another Molly Harrison one. I think I used the Arteza watercolours on this one as well. Again, this one was a complimentary page for Halloween, I believe. Hannah Lynn, another Hannah Lynn one, Halloweeny one. This one I followed another colour along YouTube series from Colour with Claire on this, and I think this has turned out absolutely wonderful. Again, Claire has helped me do another masterpiece yet again, which I thoroughly appreciate, and this was done with Polly's. I think I did it with Polly's. Claire does it with Prismas, I believe, but I didn't have any Prismas at the time, so I did these with Polly's. So it's not the exact colours that Claire used, but it's as close a match as I could get. And this was another Ennis Guerrero one. This was for my first event in the Facebook group that I joined of Ennis's. You just had to, the picture was gifted, and you just had to throw anything at all on it. It was just a mishmash, and there was no set, palette or anything like that. You could just throw everything you had at the picture. So that's what I did. I've got Arteza watercolours as a base. I think I put Polly's over the top of it. I've got stickles on there, I've got pastel on there, I have a Wink of Stella on there, and Posca. So I think I just threw everything on that I had at the time, and I did want to do a purple unicorn for some reason. That idea stuck in my head. But I think it turned out okay. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that one. So, and another one from the lovely Kim White. This was Christmas 2018. Our cute little gingerbread house. And again, lots and lots of You can see lots and lots of stickles and Wink of Stella, glitter gel pen, yeah, and yeah, it's a cute little gingerbread house. Another one from Ennis Guerrero. This one was for a challenge. You had to do it in, is it sepia, but with a hint of colour. So I kind of done that one. It sort of looks a bit sort of vintage. So I really liked that one. That's another. I think I used Polychromos again for that, and pastels for the background. Here's another of my all-time favourite Hannah Lynn pictures. This was a Patreon page again, and I did Black Widows on that. I think that was like the first. Not sure if it was the first picture I used my Black Widows on. I know I'd not had them that long when I did them. So yeah, and I've used lots of stickles and Wink of Stella on that as well. And again, I sort of followed a tutorial for the snow globe. I think it was Claire again, Colour with Claire. So I really like how that turned out. The effect of trying to get the effect of the glass and the snow globe. Yeah, so again, she's one of my favourite Hannah Lynns that I've ever coloured. Obviously purple is my favourite colour as well, so that helps. Another Ennis Guerrero one. I used Polychromos for this, and I got Neo Colour 2s, and I think I used those. That was the first time I'd used the Neo Colour 2s for the background there. But yeah, that's another Ennis one. This one I really love as well. Again, purples. But hey, what can I say? A girl's girl loves a purple. This girl loves her purple. So this was a Mad Queen Alice. This was for an event in the Facebook group. Yeah, and here I just had a wee play. I'd bought some stencils, and I was playing about with the stencils. So I thought, and I think it was a palette challenge, colour palette challenge as well. So you only had like these specific colours to use, and the background used the background I used pastel for, and I erased them from a stencil, and then I used Prismas for the rest of the image. Again, that's one of my favourites of Ennis's as well that I've done. I have done quite a few of Ennis's, as you'll see. This one by Jasmine. This was a Patreon page. Zombie Kitty. And again, I tried to sort of emulate Jasmine's artwork, but again, it didn't work out very well. But I still like the end result. And with my fur, with the cat, he looks just a poor beaten up old Moggy there, but she obviously loves him. So yeah, I quite like that. And I think I used Artesas on that one. I used markers, I think, for the base of her skin. I used Distress ink for the sort of blood kind of stains, and I did the metallic Gansai Tambi Gem colours for the wings, and Black Posca for the back, I think, with that one. This is another Ennis picture. This was done for a February Valentine event. This is, I think it's called Don't Forget Me, or I think that's the title of the picture. I'm not 100% sure. But she actually reminds me of Cameron Diaz. Look, she, in her facial features, she looks like Cameron Diaz to me. But again, I loved doing this one. This is one of my one of the favourites of Ennis's. In fact, a lot of Ennis, Ennis is one of my favourite artists. Again, she's just amazing. And again, she does help you with the grayscale. So she helps you, where to put your shading. And and that, but I think I used Polly's Chromos again for this, and Soft Pastels, and the heart stencil for the background there. This was done for an event, a Facebook event, on, it was Canvas and Colour, it's now SH Creations, I think, Sean Allen Husbands, his group, and it was a complimentary picture from Jana Prosperina, and I love her hair colour. I think I've tried to emulate Colour with Claire yet again, with the candy floss kind of style hair, and again you see I was getting better at, you know, the highlights and the shading in the hair. Again, it's not 100% perfect, but it just looks as though it's got a lot more texture than just flat hair. And I've done, I think I put Wink of Stella on it as well. You can't really see again through the picture, but yeah, that's one. This little cutie witch and her grey cat is by Mariola Budek. This was done for one of Sammy's hashtags. I think it was Halloween in March, and I think I used Black Widows on that one. Yeah, and I really like her hair again. I think I was getting better with the shading and putting the strands in and trying to make it look more realistic. So yeah, so that one's a cutie one. Again, more Ennis pictures. Again, these two are my favourites as well. Like I say, Ennis's work, it just blows me away. Every time I see a new Ennis picture, it's like, whoa. You know, and then I just wonder what I can do with it, but then I don't have a plan, I just wing it. I just basically start on the skin and then the hair, and then just think, you know, just throw anything at it, and it always seems to, you know, to work out in the end. So this one was her version of the White Rabbit, and I put loads of stickles on there, and I think I used Polychromos, I used metallic gold pen, and Neo's again, Neocolor 2s for the background there. And this one obviously is her version of Alice in Wonderland, and again I've used Neocolor 2s for the background. I've used Polychromos, and I've used the gold gel pen for the cogs, and this one I was really pleased with her hair, how her hair turned out, because I'd been watching Sammy's hair series and obviously getting lots of tips from that, so I just sort of followed. I thought I'll give it a go and see how it works. So I just wanted her to be like a dirty sort of blonde colour, so I think she's kind of turned out really well, and obviously for the extra effect and go, I just thought stick a bit of blood there, it's for Halloween after all. So yeah, so there's my version of Ennis's Alice. As a Kelly O'Gorman one, this was one for an event in her Facebook group for Easter, obviously with the Easter bonnet. I can't remember what pencils I used. I think I used Prismas for that, but I'm not 100% sure. It's either Prismas or Polys. That's what we usually go to. This one was for an event, Steampunk Zoo, that Laura Rafferty was hosting. So of course I did him. I just fell in love with him straight away, and I still think he's gorgeous, if I do say so myself. I did that with Polly's and pastel for the background, and obviously metallic gel pen for the goggles and things, because it is a steampunk. And then this was like the companion piece to go with it. This was by Michelle Cala, and this one I did an experiment, and I did put Crayola Super Tips down on and blended it out with a water brush. Now it does look okay, but I would say that the Super Tips do need a lot of water to be able to blend out. So if your paper can't take a lot of water, I really wouldn't recommend it. But yeah, so he's turned out okay, because I just wanted to try and get the effect of the feathers on him. And again, I think I used Polly's pencils and the pastels for the background, and the metallic gel pens again, just to make him look a bit more steampunk. I do love his little snail friend up there. I think he's really cute. On to another Ennis Guerrero, her interpretation of Peter Pan. This one I did with Polly's and a stencil for the background. I think I did Distress ink through a stencil for the background. No, sorry, I didn't do Polly's. I am fibbing. This was the Spectrum, when I got my Spectrum Noir colour blends. That's what these pencils are. Yeah, that's my Spectrum Noir colour blends, my first go with those. And the water ones, what are they called? Oh, I can't remember, but I've got the water soluble ones as well, so they're quite good. So I like how he turned out as well. He doesn't look like your nice friendly Pan. He sort of looks a bit creepy, but creepy but cool. And Hannah Lynn one, that's Janessa. That one I printed off from one of her books. I love how bright she's turned out with a purple and the yellow background. And see, I've absolutely covered the moon in stickles, and I've covered her wings, and you can just about see covered her wings in stickles as well. So yeah, and we have another Ennis one. I really like this one. I did this again with my Spectrum Noir colour blend and the Neo colours for the background. Just slopped everything on the page, and that's the result I got. And I think with the wings as well, I added a bit of Distress inks. I think I had been watching one of Sammy's videos where she'd done like the Stone Angel from Serene, and that's the method she'd used on the wings. She'd sort of dabbed in bits of Distress ink as well as the pencils, just to make the texture. So I did, I tried to emulate that on this picture, but again, this is another Ennis image that you know, I absolutely love once it's coloured. Well, I love them before they're coloured, but and here, this is my mermaid, another Ennis Guerrero one. I did this with Polychromos, and again, one of my favourites again. How she turned out, it's absolutely stunning. And this was for an event in a Facebook group, and you had to do sort of mad makeup or glam makeup. So I just got a stencil, just had a play about with a stencil and some stickles, and that was the end result. And the stickles all over the bubbles as well. Again, and I used gelatos for the background. Again, I really love how she turned out. A Hannah Lynn Patreon page. Did that with Artezas and gel pens. This one I've done with Sarah Richter, the Red Queen. Not very happy how the background has turned out. I tried to do it with Distress ink and one of those foam pads. I obviously wasn't getting in the rhythm with my strokes, because it's sort of heavier in places and you can see the marks. But apart from that, I love the way her hair's turned out, and the skull and bones. And I actually did a bit of makeup on her as well, which I know I don't usually. I usually try and leave faces as natural as I can. and I think I used my gem paints for the crisscross bit down the hair. This was one for an event by Linkify. I used my Giotto Stil Novo, my watercolour pencils, and lots of stickles and Wink of Stella, although you probably can't see very well under the plastic, but we have a glittery unicorn. Now Kelly Horton's picture. This was one done for an event where you could only use purple, well, you could colour it anyway, but you had to use purple and orange in your palette. And this was like the first Kelly Horton picture when I first came across Kelly, and sort of Kelly has added me into her VIP colouring team. So I'm very thankful for that, and you know, I do love colouring Kelly's images. Obviously, you know, that they appeal to me because they're a bit whimsical. They sort of remind me of a cross between Hannah Lynn and Jasmine Beckett Griffith. Something, you know, similar about it, but yeah, I mean, Kelly's a lovely person, and you know, she's her art, her you know, it's going from strength to strength, and so which I'm very happy about. But yeah, so that's a one that I like. I'd like to do it. And then another Hannah one. I did that with Derwent. There was Graffy Tint. There was just Derwent drawing pencils. There's a mixture of all sorts in that one, and I did that, you know, very autumnal feel, going back to school, college, whatever. Here's one I've done, another Ennis Guerrero one. I really like this one. And I think I used gelatos for the background, and I used lots of sparkle pen and polychromos pencils. Again, this was one for Saskia Cook, and this is one of her Chibi girls. Again, Saskia had seen some of my colouring pages, and she said, you know, I've got this Chibi Girls calendar, would you like to colour a page in that for me? So I said, yes please, yes, why not. So this was the page that I chose. I think it was March, obviously, because I think it's supposed to be the Easter Bunny. Again, I can't remember what. No, I did pastels in the background, and I have used gel pen and Posca, but I'm not sure. Not sure what pencils I used, again, to be honest, without looking up. As I say, I must write everything down on paper now from now on, if I'm going to be doing videos, so I know what I've used and where. Hannah Lynn Patreon page. I really love her. Again, I had in my head to do a pink and turquoise mermaid. I really do not know where all these colour combinations come from, but yeah. And then this was sort of my attempt at doing an aurora, my first attempt at Aurora Borealis sky there. And I've put lots of sparkles on again, I think, which I don't think you can see. I think I used the Stardust, Jelly Roll Stardust pen and gold gel pen. My first attempt at trying to do ice as well, which I think turned out pretty well. Not too bad. So, and then moving on to this one from Alexandra Danneman. This was for an event in a Facebook group. Again, I think it was a book that was being launched, or she was the artist, feature artist of the month. So this was, I can't remember what I used on here. Well, I think I used markers and gel pens and pastel for the background, possibly, or maybe gelatos again. I really can't remember. Pretty peacock there. This was Kelly O'Gorman picture. This was actually for an event, and I was one of the winners, lucky enough, and I won one of Kelly's PDFs. So yeah, I was really happy about that. Again, I think I definitely used gel pen there. I think I used, not sure again what pencils I used, to be honest. No, I don't know. It escapes me again. But yeah, so I thought that was quite a cute one. And again, I didn't really want to put a background with it because I didn't want to take away from all these gorgeous images. But yeah, it's very pretty. This was one from Kelly, from when she was getting ready to launch her book, the Littlest Darlings. And this was also a fun one to colour. And again, sort of working on the hair to try and looks as realistic as possible, although on a more cartoon based person like this, it kind of does mix it up a little, but I thought, I'll give it a go. So yeah, that turned out okay. I think I used, can't remember again what pencils I used on that. And then I did this one. These two were from Kelly's Storybook Darlings book, and she was going to promote them on a craft channel on the TV. So she wanted her colouring team to do some images out of the book. So I did these two and from the book and sent them off to Kelly. So Kelly has got my original colourings in. These are just copies of what I did, and I used I think I used Prismas on this one, and stickles and gel pen. I'm not sure what I did on Rapunzel, if that was Prismas or Polly's. I really can't remember again. This was one Dinny Siddiq. I really like how this one turned out again, with the skin as well, and I love her pink jumper, I just really do. Again, I can't remember what pencil, I think I used Prismas for this. Yeah, Prismacolors, because I recognise that turquoise, so it's Prismacolors, and I put like Jelly Roll Stardust on the heart and stuff, but you can't really tell. Another one by Linka Fi. This was for an event again in the Facebook group. Tried to colour fur. Again, it's not perfect, but he does look fluffy bunny. And I used the metallic paints for the background there, which, yeah, it's quite cute. These two are Dawn McTeague. During lockdown, Dawn very kindly gave the colouring community lots of images to print out and colour, to keep everybody sane. So I managed to get them from her, and obviously printed them out on A5 size for quickness. So obviously my favourites, Wonder Woman, Batgirl. There's not really much you could say about them. I used the Black Widow's pencils and pastels for the background. Again, this is another one to do with the COVID-19 situation and the quarantine. Kelly Horton designed it for Stay Home Save Lives. So I did that again, to show my support for that. I think I used Arteza pencils, lots of gel pen and Arteza markers and glitter pens, just all sorts. This was one from Easter PDFs that Kelly released, and obviously I was in her VIP group, so I kind of got them a bit earlier than other people's, just so that we could colour them and post them and promote them for Kelly, on behalf of Kelly as well. So yeah, that was one of those. A Patreon page from Hannah Lynn. Again, I did the cloudy background, but I thought brighten things up, give her a rainbow umbrella. I did that with Derwent again, various Derwent drawing, Derwent watercolours, pastel for the background, and the gel pen for the raindrops. So yeah, quite like that one too. Another Enis Guerrero one. I did this one with Polychromos pencils. This was a Patreon page. So yeah, so I absolutely love how she turned out as well. She just looks so regal, like the queen of her empire there. I think it is based on the Empress tarot card, Enis's interpretation of that. So yeah, so I really love her as well. And again, another one from Kelly Horton, that was like her Easter PDF pack. Arteza used on that, pencils and markers. This one's Sugar Plum Fairy, although I called her Pink Princess, Mandy Manzano. She was the artist of the month, featured artist of the month on the Facebook group. So yeah, so I think I used Black Widows. I think I did a base of Arteza markers, and then I put the Black Widows over the top, and I've also done sort of the glittery gel pens again on, and I really love how she turned out as well. So, and this one is a Camilla Dierico Patreon page. So absolutely adore Camilla. Again, is another one of my favourite artists. I have got her books. I am member of her Patreon. I just really need to do more of her work, because it is absolutely stunning. And I just love I love my fuzz butts. I did try and emulate Camilla's like style with the fuzz butts. I don't know if I've if it's paid off, if I've achieved that, but I do like how they've turned out. And again, Camilla also often does her images with different coloured eyes, with I think it's called heterochromia or something like that. So again, I've tried to emulate that, because I do really like that as well, and I think it does suit the manga style of her drawing. Absolutely love this one. Again, it's an Enis one. It's La Fuerza, which I believe means strength, and again it is like an interpretation of a tarot card. Again, I had to do I saw that and I thought lion. I had to do it like a lion, albeit a sort of really evil, nasty looking lion. But he must have some softness in him for her to be cuddling him. But anyway, but no, I just absolutely love how this turned out. Again, I just saw it and I thought lion, red background, and I just went with it. And like I say, I really love how this turned out. I did Black Widows on this, and the Neo colour twos for the background, and I think I did Neo colours for her dress as well. This one, Lulu Mayo, this was from A Million Unicorns, PDF again, because she was the feature artist of the month in one of my Facebook groups that I'm an admin for. So I got to take part in that, which was, and I get soft pastels on that, and Wink Stella and glitter gel pens. And the last one in here is a Hannah Lynn Patreon page. Again, I loved doing this one. This one was just it was really heartbreaking to do, because I just thought it's a beautiful picture, but I want to go on my summer holidays while I was doing it. But yeah, so I really enjoyed this one again. And again, I did I can't remember what pencils I used again. Oh, I think it was Arteza pencils, and lots of glitter gel pens, and my metallics, the Gansai Tambi candy metallic watercolour paints. Yeah, I just wanted to go on summer holidays when I saw that. So I'm nearly at the end of the PDFs now. So this was one that was gifted by Colouring Heaven, a design by Anastasia L.A. Koldareva. You can also find it in one of her books. I believe it is Mysteria. It's in there. And I love how she turned out. I was a bit intimidated by the picture to start with. That's why I haven't coloured it in my actual book. But now I know that, you know, I can pull it off. I think I will start in my books. But yeah, so I think she turned out absolutely beautiful. And again, I wasn't sure of the colours of the succulents, so I brought up photographic references and did that as well. And I did her in Polychromos, and that's it. I think I did a little touch of Posca, I think in her eyes for the highlight, but that's about it. And another Lulu Mayo for the featured artist event. This one I did markers, pencils, I think it was Arteza, both of them, and lots of glitter gel pens, and again a nod to my grey cat there. And then Kelly Horton, this was in her Steampunk Darlings book, and as I say, I'm on her colouring team, so we got the images to colour to help promote the new book when it was launched. So this was the first one that I did. I used Prismacolors for that, and I also got the Nuvo glitters, the loose glitter, so I've put that on the cogs and the metalwork and her jewellery there. So this was another one from the Steampunk Darlings. I used Prismacolors again for this one, and again the Nuvo glitter for accents, and the glitter gel pens for some extra sparkle as well. And thirdly, this is my third image from Steampunk Darlings. Again, I used Prismas and Nuvo glitter, and I did the pastel for the background. Hannah Lynn Patreon page, Teddy Bear's Picnic. This was fun to do, even though it was quite busy. I found it a bit difficult to, you know, try and get everything to look cohesive on the page, if you like. But yeah, I managed it, which I was very happy about. I really don't know. Again, I know this is a recent one, but I can't remember what pencils I used. Oh, these were my Pablos. I recently bought a set of Pablo pencils. So I did some of the base in Arteza markers, and then I went over it with Pablo pencils, and I think it's turned out nice. And I do have a teddy bear that looks like that, so that's where my inspiration came from. So two-tone teddy bear. But anyway, yeah, I think that's lovely. Now it's finished, it's nice and bright, and it's like something you do on a summer's day. Again, is another summery one. This was by Rosary Sowanamama, and this was a set of 3 summer chibis that she had. So that's a recent one coloured. I did watercolour with that one. I can't remember which ones I used. Oh, Maggiotto Still Novo ones, yeah. And I did, I think I did pastels for the background, and I put some glossy accents on the beach ball and the lollipop and other bits and pieces. This is my favourite picture to date. It's one by Naleki Shoemaker, Wendigo. She did it for an event in a Facebook group, and I was one of 4 winners, which I was very thankful for. I was very surprised at, to be honest, but you know, I really love this picture. Basically I just threw some Neo colours on the background and the Polychromos pencils, and I wanted to sort of keep it all the same tone. So yeah, so I really love how that's turned out. It sort of looks kind of dark and mysterious, but you know, not too dark and mysterious. But anyways, yeah, I love that picture. Then Princess Robina by Jennifer Zimmerman. I think that's the last one that I've done up to now so far. Yep. Again, this was for an event in a Facebook group, the Fur and Feathers event. And I used, I think, what did I use on there? Again, I don't know. This is just a new one. Oh, Black Widows. Black Widows. Oh, see, I'm terrible. Black Widow pencils and some of the Nuvo glitter for the sparkly bits. Yeah, so there's just another... Right, just a few more PDFs and then that'll be me signing off, because that's all I've done so far. Still obviously got works in progress, but I'll show you those when they're finished. Now this was for the Creepy Colouring collaboration that was done last year. 5 lovely artists. They all gifted us a page to do for Halloween. So that was Kim's page, Kim White, from Creative Happy Life. So yeah, so I'm quite happy the way she turned out. And I can't remember what pencils I used. I think I used Prismas on that, to be honest. And it was my first time doing a grey skin as well. But I think I pulled it off. And I used a stencil for the background and lots of gel pens, and I think I used watercolours for around the archway and things. So again, it's a mishmash of materials used there, but yeah, she turned out okay. This one was Deborah Muller. I used my Black Widows for that, and again gel pens with the addition of gel pens, Posca. This picture was Saskia Cook. I used Prismas for this one because I took this one away with me when I went to the Colouring Heaven event. I was going to do it on the train going down to Bath, but it was making me feel really nauseous, so needless to say I didn't get much done while I was away, and I ended up finishing it off when I came back. But yeah, so I didn't quite make the end of the month date for the Creepy collaboration, but I did manage it in the finish up. At least I got all 5 of the pictures done. This one was Kelly O'Gorman. I used Black Widows for that, and I really like how that one turned out as well. I just like the way and I think I used gelatos for the background. And glitter gel pen again, gold gel pen. And this one was Charlie Trim by Charlotte's Hand. And this is a Halloweeny mandala, which didn't take me very long to do once I got stuck in. Again, nearly all glitter gel pens. I did pastel for the background because it was quite easy. I just sort of did the pastel all over it, and then if it went on these white bits I just rubbed them out with a rubber. That's the beauty of the pastels. So yeah, so that one done. And then I did the steampunk event that Sammy did. I did a couple for I've only managed to do, although I did purchase all the pictures, I only managed to colour in a couple before the event finished. So this Steampunk Fairy was another Nella Kay Shoemaker one, and again I really love her. I think she's absolutely fun. And I did Polychromos, gold gel pen, and I think I did Neo's Neocolor 2s for the background. And there's other sort of glitter gel pens, metallic gel pens thrown into the mix there as well. And this lovely one, this took me absolutely ages. I did start it and I left it for ages and ages before I actually finished it. This was Kim White again, Creative Happy Life, this her Steampunk Fairy. And I did soft pastels for the background, and I think I did Polly's, I think Prismas. I get mixed up with my Polly's and my Prismas. Yeah, this is Prismas, and obviously gold and silver gel pens. Yeah, so that's her. And this year as well, I attempted Mermay, to do some in Mermay as well. And again, I did buy a lot of the images. I think I probably purchased all of them. I didn't get around to doing very many of them, unfortunately. I did this one by Samantha Jean Illustrations. I think she was quite cute and whimsical, so I just had to do her. And again, I can't remember what. Oh, my Spectrum Noir colour blend pencils I used for that, and lots and lots of stickles. And then I did that during Mermay. I had done another one recently. I've done that Jennifer Zimmerman one. I did purchase the image during Mermay, but I've only just recently coloured it for an event on her Facebook group. You had to do like sparkle and shine, so I thought that was the ideal one. I used the metallic watercolour paints for inside of the shell, and lots of glitter, Nouveau glitter and shiny gel pens, and even bits of confetti up her neck. I thought that was that would be quite cute to do that as well. And then I have got some other mermaid images that weren't actually part of the Mermay set, but I have done them. This one is Sassy Cook, and I did this with, I think it was some kind of watercolours. I think it was my Derwent ones. I was actually going for a blue skin, but it didn't turn out, so this was my second attempt at this picture. But yeah, I love how this turned out. Again, lots of sparkles, gel pens, glitter thrown at it. This one I absolutely adore. This is my very first picture, Christine Karen picture that I've done, Cowgirl Mermaid. I did her with Polly's and soft pastels for the background. Again, Wink Stella, lots of glitter gel pens. I just think she looks really fun. I'd love to go to a rodeo with her. And this one is Amanda Manzano. I think I did this with watercolour, marker based, and then watercolour over the top, I think. I'm not 100% sure what I've done, to be honest with that. I know it didn't take me very long. I just got stuck in and just got on with it, and I really enjoyed it. And Nemo and Dory, 10 points for finding them. But yeah, so that's another one that I really enjoyed doing, and that's it. That's it for now, folks. So obviously, once I do any more pictures, I will keep you guys updated, and also there could possibly be other videos in the pipeline. See how these 3 are received at the moment, and as I say, I'm still very new at all this, so please excuse me if I sometimes repeat myself or get my words muddled up. I'm just in the process of just dipping my toes in the water just to see how I feel about doing all these videos and becoming a YouTuber in the future. So anyway guys, thanks very much for watching everybody and sticking with me this long. I hope I haven't bored everybody too much with my ramblings. So yeah, so anyway, stay, if you want to subscribe, that would be great, and click the bell, so whenever I do upload, you'll be notified. So, and I will keep on with my colouring and letting you come along with the journey with me, if you want. So I'll say bye for now and take care everybody, and I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.